Kelly Bear here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you tarot decks that give me summer vibes, or tarot decks that are bringing the summer into my life. Here in the UK we're having a very grey, cold and wet summer thus far. On a personal level, I don't actually mind it too much. I'm okay usually like at the beginning of the summer if it's not too warm. But I find that as summer wears on, usually I really struggle with it on a number of fronts, and find that by sort of the depths of August I have some serious summer SAD, or SAD, seasonal affective disorder, which people are generally really unsympathetic about because they can't get their head around it. Everyone's used to like it coming from the other end. But we exist, folks. We exist. Those of us that get summer sad exist. That being said, I'm going to be sharing some decks that are bringing some summeriness, because I do enjoy, you know, a certain amount of summeriness, just not too much. If it goes on, like I said, if it goes on for too long. I'm belaboring the point. I do it all the time. I'm just going to try and just nip myself in the bud right there and just start showing you some decks. So I have 10 tarot decks. I could have shown way more, but for the sake of like this being a nice round number, and for the sake of time, I have kept it to 10, and there might be a couple of little bonus decks at the end, so make sure you stay for those. And these are in no particular order. And honestly, I had about 20 decks or so pulled out, and I was like, no, I'm not showing 20 decks. So I kind of ended up narrowing it down to 10, and honestly I could have easily shown any of the other 10, but so these are the ones that made the cut. And I'm just going to grab the one that's just loosey-goosey right here, and it is the first ever indie deck I bought. It's the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. I bought this for myself for, I believe, Christmas 2014. And this is the original copy, so mine's edged in blue. It now comes in a fancy 2-part box or clamshell box, I can't quite remember, and it has like a more white background, I think it does. It's gilded, and some of the artwork has been changed. I originally wasn't sure if I liked the newer version, but I've come to think that I do. But I don't feel like I work with this one enough to warrant getting the newer version, even though you know, I like it. And obviously, for, you know, let's just see, I'm going to be doing this thing where I keep changing the lighting, which seems to be something I constantly have to do in these top-down videos, but also because of aforementioned dodgy summer, the lighting keeps changing in the room, so the natural light that I'm getting switches between thundery rain clouds and then pure brilliant blinding sunshine. So this is probably going to be moving around a lot, and also because the cardstock is different on all the decks. So yeah, with that little caveat out of the way, this is the OG Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. I might just scooch in a scotch. There we go, just so you can see the cards a little better. So it's, you know, it's very much Smith-Waite. I mean, these are two very recognizable cards, even though it's mermaids. I do love the sun card being a mermaid on the back of I nearly said unicorn, my god, on the back of a seahorse. I nearly said a snail horse, fuck me. My brain is very smooshy today. I love this King of Wands. There's a lot of sort of old school Hollywood and sort of celeb vibes in this as well. It's like an indie version of the Cosmic Tarot almost. Is it the Cosmic Tarot? It has a lot of film starlets as inspiration for a lot of the cards. I love this Magician. It's one of my favourite cards in the deck. He is fabulous. I like that the wheel is a ship's wheel. Makes sense, right? And it's just really fun. I love the sort of naive nature of the artwork, you know, the art style. Yes, it could be more diverse and inclusive, and the newer edition does kind of address that. Not enough, not as much as I would like, honestly, but again, another reason why I'm just like, I like it, but I don't work with it enough to warrant a new new edition. I used to work with this a lot, but you know, I had a much smaller collection back in the day, because that's how collections start, right? You start with a small collection and you build it. Well, stating the obvious. Again, we have a mermaid on a lion this time, although I'm a bit like, how? You know, I feel like it should have been a sea lion. See what I did there? But yeah, it's for obvious reasons gives summer vibes, because I think of summer and I think of the beach. If I lived by the beach, I probably would think of this as an all year round deck, but I don't. So I think a bit about although the last time I went to the beach in the summer, I couldn't even tell you. Very long time ago. And a lot of the beaches in the UK are pants, honestly. Very pebbly, gnarly, dirty water. Our government is allowing literal shit to be washed out into our waterways and our seas, and it's a whole thing. People are getting sick from the water. It's a nightmare. Anyway, so that is the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. Let's show you the next one. Right, I've popped the big light on. I've popped the overhead light on, so hopefully that's given us a bit more light, because the clouds are rolling back in again, and I'm worried that the light is going to be too bad. I'm also actually just going to scooch myself over another little foot to the side of the camera. I keep learning that I need to stand to the left of the camera, because as you can see, I'm learning here, folks. I'm learning. I'm trying. So the next deck is in a bag that is not for, this is for the Circo deck, I believe, the Indie Sunday. I really need to repair that, but I keep the Numinous Tarot in it, because the Numinous Tarot came in an absolutely massive fuck off box, and I'm not keeping in that, and I have still not made a pouch for it. There's so many of my decks that I need to make pouches for, but then I always feel bad, because I feel like I should be making them for my shop. So yeah, this deck gives me summer vibes, because, and I should have been doing, I always like, for the first couple of deck or two that I show when I do these videos at the moment, I sort of hold the deck up, and then by the second or third deck I'm like, oh yeah, just put it down and then show the cards like this. It's really bold colours, it's really bright, it's really saturated. I'm not sure if the cardstock is different for later printings. This is one of the original printings, so it's glossy cardstock, as you can see there, the ring light shining off, but it just makes me think of the warmth and the colour and the burst of, you know, there's even like strawberries on here. Actually, strawberries are in season here in the UK, so I've been buying British strawberries, and they're so good. They're so plump and juicy and delicious. And, you know, there are cards like here we've got some nighttime scenes here. But the colours are so rich. It still feels summer, especially with these golden glow. You know, we have nighttime in the summer too. Yeah, there's just something about this deck that makes me feel summery. It is a deck that I use all year round. It's one of those decks that I sometimes have to put away, like hide, so that I don't just reach for it. The Sasarobito is another one of those that I've spoken about as well. They're my love affair decks that are just always, I don't know, there's just something comforting about them and nurturing, and I like that they're inclusive and diverse, and you know, I can see myself and my family and friends and community in this deck. I mean, come on, this just feels so summer. I think this, oh no, I can't remember. There's a card I think that is a self-insert for Cedar McLeod, who is the creator of the deck. But I can't remember if it was the one that I've just shared there or a different one. But yeah, I mean, this just screams summer, doesn't it? With the sunflowers and the gorgeous red candle and this just, oh. And it's just, I love this magician. To me, this is Gilmore from Critical Role. This is my headcanon who this is. This is a young Gilmore of Gilmore's Glorious Goods. So yeah, that's the Numinous Tarot. And I know that Cedar McLeod has had a Kickstarter for the Magical Pantry Tarot. Unfortunately, I can't really spring for backing that Kickstarter at the moment. I would have loved to, but I'm hoping that Beth Maiden will end up stocking it, or one of the other sort of UK-based indie shops will end up stocking it, so that I can still get a copy when it sort of becomes more readily available. But I imagine that might be maybe towards the end of the year, I don't know. But so yeah, that's that one. So yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the torrential rain pattering down on the eaves, which yeah, it's quite loud, but I don't know if my phone is picking it up. I actually find that sound super relaxing. I really enjoy it. I love laying in bed listening to it, because my bedroom is in the attic. Oh, and hearing that sound is just so soothing to fall asleep to. And if it's not raining, then I just put on a rain sound track. It's like white noise to help me fall asleep to. Anyway, the Queer Tarot. This deck is so summer. It's so summer. It is. I mean, it's so bright. This feels like such a teen, like 90s teen me deck. Oh, if this deck was available in the 90s, I would have 100% grabbed a copy if I could. Saved my pocket money up for it, because oh my lordy, I mean, it's a straight up Smith Waite. The one thing that I really dislike is this absolutely redonkulous cardstock. I mean, it's so chunky. People need to be able to use their decks. Publishers, please. I know we complained about the cardstock, but there needs to be, like, you need to be sensible about it. You know, you can make it durable without making it like impossible to shuffle. My hands are just wee. Look at that, I could barely get my hands around it. Anyway, that's what she said. So yeah, it's so colourful. Oh, look, it matches the flowers there, the purple and the green. It's so bright, it's so joyous, it's queer, it features actual queer people, and in the guidebook it tells you who the people are, who the models are, including the pets, which I really enjoy, like the cats and dogs and what have you that are featured. I really enjoy the cards that have the black background, because the colours really, really pop, and I really enjoy the back of these cards a lot. Again, it feels very 90s. Very easy to read with, because it is Smith Waite, but make it bright and queer. I love this world card so much. I love this lingerie set. I kind of want it. Well, I do want it. I mean, there's so much neon in this. It makes my eyes so happy. And it's really funny looking at this right now, because it's so grey. It's gone really dark outside, and this is still just, even under this lighting, it's so like vibrant and delicious. I can actually probably get away with moving the light over a bit more, because it is a sort of a more matte finish cardstock, so it doesn't shine with the light. But yeah, I just generally really love it. We get all sorts of bodies and skin tones, cultures. Yeah, I mean, lots of rainbows, lots of like different queer flags. We have the lesbian flag on this one. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. I mean, this is a fun wheel. I mean, a lot of people are not a fan of the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's a little bit of a meh card art-wise, I find. So I always appreciate it when creators come up with a way of making it a bit more fun and interesting. I mean, I love these like wings with the stars in them, which is pretty cool. Oh, it's not wings. I thought it was wings. It's actually like little trails of stardust. Or starry farts. I don't know. It looks like that cat's farting. I thought it was wings. I don't know. Well, but the bird doesn't have one. I can't believe all this time I thought they were wings. Isn't it funny how you can your brain just does that? Doesn't see what's actually there. I'm observant. Great. What's the word? Quality in a tarot reader, being missing things. To be fair, I've not worked with this deck fully since last summer, so it's been a while. It's been a while. Did anyone else have that? Have decks that they've had for years? There's some decks literally that I've had for years, and then I'll be looking at it and go, oh, that's either something that you thought was one thing but turns out to be another, or something you just didn't notice. I think that's also the curse of having the curse and the blessing and the curse of having so many decks, that you don't get to know all of them so intimately. I mean, there are decks in my collection that I know all too well, very well, and you know, I that's why I keep going back to them again and again. I know them well because I love them. Again, aforementioned Sasaribito and Numinous Tarot, but ones that sort of get less play, it's definitely more of a possibility for that to happen. Oh, but it's so good. It's so good. I love that we've got like the star is wearing a chest binder. Okay, so that's the third deck. On to the fourth. Right, so fourth card. Sorry, just making sure I have a nice sip of my tea because it's going to go cold otherwise. I've just realised my mug matches the purple flowers. So the next one is an indie deck. This has been produced as a mass market deck as well, but I can't remember the name that it's put out under. It's not the Circo Tarot that it's put out under, and it's a set with the cards and the guidebook. You can buy the guidebooks separately, and some of the cards have been changed for the set to make it, I don't know, I feel like it didn't need changing, but you know, purity culture and all that jazz. This is a very glossy deck, so I might have to move the ring light yet again. Little, yeah, that'll be all right, right? It's not going to show how deliciously vibrant this deck is. I mean, this is a perfect card to have on the top for summer, right? Like the sun, summer, bright, warm. She's got a bikini on, she's got her sunglasses, she's got a sun cream on her nose, she's keeping herself protected. Ten of Cups. The colours in this deck are scrumptious. These sort of mauves and lavenders and pinks that together just are so delicious. I want to lick them. I love that the Five of Wands are like dogs playing around with sticks. It's so cute. It's actually showing up a lot more almost jewel toned, a lot more saturated in my camera when I'm looking at the screen, but in real life this is actually a paler mintier green, so this isn't necessarily showing you exactly the colors. Okay, so this was one of the cards that was changed, the Lovers, because heaven forbid teenagers see you know, boobs or bush. As you can see, the curtains and the drapes, was it the drapes, curtains and the drapes? Aren't curtains and drapes the same thing though? Do people say, is it the curtains and the drapes match? People used to say that all the time to me as like a teenager or a tween. How gross is it? Grown ass men like driving past on the street be like, do the curtains match the drape, or do the collars, does the collar match the cuffs? Imagine saying that to like a 12-year-old kid, a redhead. Like, how fucking gross. So disgusting. Like, sexual harassment starts so young. It's disgusting. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, and I looked young, like even through to like the age of 30, I looked like I could easily have gotten away with being 16, 17 at the age of fucking 30. So like, I don't know, people like grown-ass men saying stuff like that to 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. I must have looked about 9. Oh, it's so gross. Anyway, I'm going on and on about it now because I've just squicked myself out. Yeah, there's a lot of blue and a lot of this sort of yellow tone, which I really like. I mean, that was the point I was going to make, right? Because this, I think the audience for this deck is like teenage girls, probably, and maybe young 20-somethings. But like teenage girls are going to get boobs and bush. So why does it matter if they have this card in? I don't, it's just so prudish. And like, it's not like you can see this guy's junk. So I don't know. I love the Queen of Wands with her two like little cat, like protectors, bodyguards, I don't know. Again, I really love this sort of naive art style. And by a naive, I'm not saying that the art is not good or that there's not a skill involved. I just mean that it has this childlike quality to it, a very distinct sort of playfulness to it. And I've got, you know, like I've shown the other deck, what was it? Dame Darcy, Mermaid, which has that sort of naive vibe to it. And then I've got another deck that definitely has that vibe as well, or a couple more actually that have that sort of naive vibe. This was another one that was changed. Okay, maybe I can see a little more because it's quite kinky. She's got like the inverted pentagram harness on. She's got her boobs out and the devil is having a good old feel. But I mean, honestly, she looks like she's into it. So you know, so yeah, I really like this deck. Again, I've not worked with this since like last summertime. I can't remember, I paired it with an oracle deck that was really fun, and I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. I think it might have been the Atka Sparman podcast oracle, and I think I also combined this with the Therapets because the colours are really like similar and they sort of vibe nicely together. So yeah, that is the Circo Tarot. I can't remember who the artist is. Marissa de la Peña, 2018. Where does the time go? Let's mix it up this time. I'm going to show a Marseille deck. Again, there were some more pippy Marseille decks that I could have shown, but I felt like these other ones were just a little bit more summery. So this is the Squid Cake Tarot, Marseille Tarot by Jess Roller. I actually have my indie version in here. I keep doing that. I should go get the mass market version. But they are a little different. I do have a video comparing the two, should you be interested in the difference. But so in the mass market version, all of the titles are in English, and even the minors have titles. So it does sort of change the size of the artwork a little bit. And I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, I can't remember if the major arcana, the triumphs have yeah, they don't have Roman numerals, they have Arabic numbering. I cannot remember off the top of my head. And my other version is downstairs to grab on the go should I want to read with it. My current Marseille that I'm grabbing to go is the Marseille Pondre Vie by Auntie K. So that one's actually in my backpack at the moment. But yeah, this is a cute, it's quite small as you can see. So I'm probably going to zoom in a little bit more again. Okay, I hope that's better. I just pressed record just as a grumble of thunder finished rumbling across the sky. It was very dramatic. So this is, like I said, this is the independent version. And so it is on like a more linen cardstock. This one is edged in a sort of a soft blue colour. I have been considering edging it in a more minty green over the top, which I might still do, just so it matches a little bit more with the colour in the deck. It's not quite a match, and I'm a bit of a stickler for aesthetic sometimes. Not with everything, but you know. And this is a really fun deck. I mean, case in point, look at this little, like, almost like the moon is a man in a space helmet, in a astronaut's helmet, and it reads just exactly perfectly as a Marseille, pretty much. There's obviously the court cards, there's a little bit more, you know, but we still have like directionality, although, you know, this queen is looking a little bit more loose than the classic Queen of Swords, but that's okay. She's very confident in her opinions, I feel, this one. It's just, I mean, it's just, I can't even. And if you do want to pick up the mass market version, I think it's around the same size. The cardstock is smooth and isn't glossy, so you don't get the glare off of it as much. Not that this is glaring too much. I love the backs. And it's actually a really reasonable price. I believe it's from Rockpool. Yeah, I'm just looking at the box. It's Rockpool. Who have been putting out some cute decks, I feel. Yeah, what's not to love? I mean, the bat wings. And it's just this, especially this like orange and pink combo, which I love, feels very summery to me. And you know, having the strawberries again, which I, as someone in the UK, June is strawberry season. It's also sort of when Wimbledon happens, and Wimbledon and strawberries and cream is like a thing. I fucking hate tennis, so I completely ignore Wimbledon. But I love strawberries. I do not ignore that. So, and I've just reminded myself I've got a punnet in the fridge to enjoy with some whipped cream. I've got some vegan like squirty cream to put on top. Yum yum yum. So yeah, that's the Squid Cake Marseille Tarot. Let's go from a Marseille to an almost straight up Smith Waite deck. So we have the Trippin Waite Tarot by Tarot Collectibles, right? Is it Tarot Collect? Yeah, tarotcollectibles.com. I do like a lot of their decks. I really want their Blacklight Tarot. I would really like one of their sparkly. I nearly said spunkily. Sparkly, spunkily, spunky, sparky. The one thing that upsets me about this deck is that there are a couple of alternative cards, which are the Ace of Cups and the Tower, but they are a different size to the rest of the deck. They're a little smaller. And so I can't really use them because they always just mess up when you're shuffling, and it's really easy to spot them, and I don't know, it just irritates the shit out of me. And that just really, so it's like I have these 2 extra cards but I can't use them. And I actually really love this pink one with like the one like sort of chocolate brown and one sort of ivory coloured doves. I don't know. But yeah, so this is, I mean, it's so bright and it's very... It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Meow, meow, meow. Psychedelic than I was hoping. I do feel like the groovy Waite went a bit further. I've spoken about this before, but their groovy Waite is just only comes in the borderless, and I actually think it needs the border, and I want it to feel more like a traditional Smith Waite, so I want the borders on it. But it is a... I love the face on this horse. It's looking more of a reddish pink, orangey pink, in a warm pink on the screen, but in real life it's a much more sort of blue toned bright pink. And maybe it doesn't need to be mega trippy. I don't know, just a little trippy. It's fun though. I love that the Knight of Pentacles has little Mary Jane leaves all over it. The Devil, I mean, it's also very sort of political commentary going on here. The Hermit looks like he's walking through space. Blonde Hermit, doesn't look as old. Maybe late 30s, early 40s Hermit. Justice. All these like rainbows, all these swirls you get. Quite fun. Very, very Pride Month, actually. Why did I not have this one out? I might actually take this out for Pride Month. Although we're halfway through, folks. Halfway through Pride. Well, as of filming this, we're halfway through. By the time this goes up, it might be towards the end or even be over. The Star. So yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself really when it comes to why it's a summer deck. Doesn't it? And it's easy to read again because it's a straight up Smith Waite deck, so it's like, you know, easy peasy. What one should I show next? Okay, I am going to show one of the decks that I came into my collection this year. So this was a January purchase with some birthday money. I love the like holographic, and it, yeah, as you'll see, Zeke's Arcana. It's such a scrumptious, deliciously over the top pink foiled. Yeah, it's just a delight. I might be able to get I'm going to move the camera out a little bit again. Hope all these camera changes aren't making you dizzy. It's just weird and wild. I love the courts, especially the knights, because I love it when artists play around with like the mount for the knight, and like when it's not always a horse. It's just so much fun. I mean, a hippo. Hippos are so dangerous though. I hope this knight is really well bonded with their hippo, because if they turn around and chomp them, their head's gonna be gone. We have slightly more pippish cards for some of them, especially the ones. Here we have the Nine of Swords, which is actually quite pippish. We don't have the figure sitting up in bed. We have this sort of eye thing, I don't know, with the twigs pointing through it, or thorns pointing through it, poking through it, and it's crying. And then the Nine Swords. But it's just these, again, these pinks and reds and oranges. Here we go. Here's an example of a very pippish wand. We don't have the character that you would usually see in the Nine of Wands with their head bandaged and sort of wearily standing, holding one of the wands. We have, you know, just the 9 wands, and you get that sort of defensive feeling, weary feeling by this sort of this one across the others. The Maker is one of the extra arcana, and I really... majors, and I really love, and I keep it in, and I keep the patron in as well, because I am an artist and maker, and they feel relevant to moi. We have the Six of Swords, again, no people, just this sort of swan boat going across. But what I find quite interesting about this particular Six of Swords is if you look closely, you can see that the water is swirling around. It almost looks like, I mean, these are like obviously the ripples moving around the swan, but it almost, because you've got this here and here, it gives this like eddy, this round, almost whirlpool effect. Just a hint, just a nod to it that maybe they're gonna get sucked down. Again, amazing court cards. I love them. They're so weird. I love the Hermit in this card. Again, this is making me think of the Eldritch Overload Tarot, which I really want. Sylvie over at Tarot Magpie shares their copy quite a bit, and it just looks amazing. And there's this amazing guidebook that you can buy separately for it, but I think it's hard to get a hold of now, and I'm not in a position to be splurging on decks at the moment. There are so many amazing decks out there now. And I went through a phase where I wasn't that fussed, like, you know, but I'm in, there's ones that I want, and I kind of need to decide which ones I'm going to invest in, because a lot of them are indie. And yeah, I am a woman of limited means, unfortunately. Ugh, this poor bug. So... yeah, again, here we go. Another very sort of pippy wand card. But yeah, as you can see, the colours are just delicious. Trolls. Who doesn't love trolls? It's just so much. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. And I'm loving how they're like colours are all matching. They're just so many of my favourite colours. And my mouth's watering because they like taste so good. Right. 3 more tarot decks to go. So remember when I said I had another deck that has quite a naive feel to the artwork? Well, here it is. It is the Playful Heart Tarot by Kitten Chops. I still haven't picked up a copy of the Pip Speak Tarot. I would very much like that, but I have to admit, I was disappointed by the utter lack of sort of diversity in the deck. I was really surprised that there wasn't like a single person of colour, a single person of the global majority, it seemed, in the entire deck. And I was just like, how, as a modern, God, I've just knocked the thing, sorry, in a like this day and age, that there isn't, you're making a contemporary deck and you're not featuring any people of colour, like what? At all. So that's kind of like soured it for me a little bit, and more a lot of a bit, because I think I probably would have picked up a copy by now if that hadn't been the case. But yeah, so I don't know how I feel about getting that. I do think it's cute, but again, I don't know, it's complicated, right? Like, meh. So here we go. Wrong way. It's because I always open it from the bottom because I didn't want to break the seal there. Oh, I do love all the like foil. I love a bit of foil. I love a bit of bling. Blah, yum. So this deck is just, it's so cute. It's so cute. It features a lot of animals. And actually, now that I think about it, does this feature any people of colour? I felt like it did a little bit. Like, you know, we've got different skin tones here. But it's so cute. This is one of the like inner child decks for me. Little face. I just love all the little creatures in it. I love the, well, the playfulness of it, and I like that it doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of cards, right? You've got definite nods to the gnarlier side of things, which maybe one of those will come up. But it's very vibrant. It's very, again, a lot of these decks I'm showing have lots of sort of reds, oranges, yellows and pinks, which I think of as very summery because it makes me think of warmth. And some of them are all sort of more blues and aquas and sort of sky colours. I love sky and watery colours because I also think of like clear blue skies, not this summer clearly, and like water, oceans and lakes and things. So yeah, very cute. Again, I mean, this is such a summery page of wands, isn't it? Literally in a little bikini, licking a lollipop, got sunglasses, standing in the sprinkler, get cooling off. There's obviously lots of hearts in this, which is sweet. I mean, it is very cute. It's very cute. Yeah, now I'm looking. Oh, here we go. Here's one that's, it's just, yeah, it's such a sad card, and it's not shying away from the darker side of things, and I think that is oh, here we go. I saw that is very important. That's so funny. These ones come up for me. These ones were coming up for me a lot at one point a couple of years ago when I was reading them, and they're behind each other again. They're with each other and together again. It's like almost like they just like come as a set. It's so weird. Tarot is so weird. Again, I mean, just screams summer. Summer. These little weird, I don't know, turnipy type characters. Little cat person. Having a cat cloak would be really cool. Anyway, so yeah, again, this feels very summery. My headcanon is this is the Beatles. Got little mermaids, little lotuses with like, I don't know, fish or tadpole people, they're fish people. Just loads of weird, like there's a yellow submarine. There's just so many like weird little cute things in it. And there's so much to sort of get out of every single image. It's like quite densely illustrated, if that makes sense. You know, so yeah. Oakley dokely, 2 more left. Let's go with another Marseille. Again, this is so very summer. I mean, look at the box. Tarot Serene by Wandering Oracle. They're the same folks that put out the Marshmallow Marseille, which I also think of as quite a sort of spring summery deck. But I picked a sister deck because it's the one that I like the most. Oh my god, look at this. Disco. Yeah, and then obviously the hollow backs as well. Paratita y mama. Is that for my aunt and my mum? Oh, my gran. Oh, it says here for mum and gran. Yeah. So let's see. Again, I think I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit because look at this rainbow. Oh, I just want to lick it. Oh, I won't, but I want to. Okay, so this is Marseille, but make it mermaids, and I love this deck so much. It's small. The artwork, again, probably quite a naive vibe style to the artwork. Lots of boobs. I love that we've got some like body diversity. We've got a number of sort of skin tones represented. Actually, a lot of them are pale, but I think they're sort of in the, where are they? oh no, they're quite blue, the quartz. They have the matching, or are they cups? They have the matching tail colours. There we go. So here you go. You'll see the cups all have this like blue and pink, for example. For them. But I love this like thick King of Cups. Oh my god. King of Coins. Hello. So cool. But see here, so you have like the almost lizard-like tail for the King of Coins, and then the Knight of Coins has like is a lizardy type mount, and then has the lizard tail. Like, how cool is that? I love that. So here we have the coins families with their lizardy tails and fiery, almost reddish pink tails for the wands. And I just really love like the little arabesques that are added into this one. So in the wands, it's like it's roses, right? Which is fairly like it's flowers. But in the cups, we have like these little like sea snakes and little fishies. How cute is that? Good strength. It's like some like a sea lion, but not like the sea lion that we would think of. So yeah, I do think actually sort of a little bit more diverse than other Marseilles, and this one has been around for a while now. When did I get this? This was sent to me by Wandering Oracle as a thank you for always bigging up the Marshmallow Marseille in my videos. I wasn't asked to, I wasn't paid to. They were like, thank you so much for always speaking so kindly about the Marshmallow Marseille. We would like to send you the Tarot Serene. And I was like, oh, no way. And it was such a joy. So I think it was sent to me in like 2018, 2019. I've had it for at least 5 years. I think it would have been 2019 because I started really getting into Marseille in 2018. So yeah, I've had this about 5.5 years, and I just love it. And it comes out every single like late spring, definitely by June. And this was already in my like little tarot box down by my what's the word I'm trying to find? Altar is the word I'm trying to find. I have like a box of decks that are my like currently working with, and yeah, this is in there, and this will be in there through the whole summer because hello. I love that we've got like an Octomade as well. It's not just mermaids, and I like that. Again, we've got some flowers here in the swords and some flowers in the coins, but the cups gets really fun with those little sea snakes and fishies, little fishies, so cute. Yeah, I love this. I love this deck. It's cute. It's fun. It reads as a Marseille. It's yummy, and it's a nice size. It's really easy for me to shuffle, and I often have it separated out with just the triumphs for tirage en croix, but it is all shuffled together at the moment. Final tarot deck to show you. This was showed in a more recent video. It is the Animal Wisdom Tarot by Dawn Brunker and illustrated by Ola Leola, which I just love saying, Ola Leola. But it has been renamed to the Animal Spirit Tarot, which honestly don't love that. I think this was a perfectly fine title, and yet again I need to possibly scooch out. Let's just see. This is just in the loose. Again, another deck of mine I need to make a bloody pouch for, but just haven't gotten around to because it's a sloshing around in this damn thing, and the book is on my bookshelf. I'm gonna scooch out, hold on, because this deck is a little larger than like your average sort of Smith Waite deck, for example. I love the backs. We've got these sort of coyotes and the hummingbirds with the flowers. It flows nicely. It's reversible. This deck, the colours, this gives me sort of early summer vibes. It's very spring into summer. The artwork is just, I've edged mine in all shades of aqua and turquoise and pink and lavender. And it's just the artwork is just so cute. It is very glossy, as you can see. I've had to sort of move the ring light out of the way. Again, it just matches so nicely, these colours. It's just so cute. I feel like the animal choices make a lot of sense. So elephant, bearer of justice, because what they're saying is like an elephant never forgets, but also an elephant is a strong beast. It's a strong animal, and they're smart, and it feels, I don't know, it's a really interesting choice for justice. I love that we have this moon gazing, well, it's a rabbit. I'm moon gazing here, but you know, that I think that's what the inspiration for the rabbit card, the moon card, sorry, the rabbit, just really, really sweet. I love that we have a goat for the devil. It has been renamed the Shadow God of Liberation, which, like, okay, whatever, but you know, it's been very sort of defanged. It's defanged tarot. It's very soft and gentle, and I know sometimes we can like poke fun of that, but sometimes we do need that. Well, I don't know, I can't speak for other people obviously, but there are times when I do need something a little less gnarly, and also other people. If I'm reading for a friend, for example, what is it, an example, can I has words today? I'm blaming the painkillers. Because they have scrambled my brain. You know, if I was doing a reading, for example, for a friend who was maybe grieving or going through a very difficult, painful time in their lives, and I felt that, you know, some of my decks presentations, depictions of the devil or death or what have you might just be, or like the Ten of Swords, for example, just might be a bit too much. It might send them over the edge, or maybe make them worry, because, you know, if they don't read the cards, they're not necessarily going to know that when you're using a narrative deck rather than a pip deck, that is just like one little snapshot of the possible meaning of a card. So having something like the Shadow God of Liberation does feel at that point quite a useful tool to have, like a useful deck to have. And it's all animals. There's one child in one of the cards. I do love the bear for the guardian of fossils, which stands in for the kings or the guardians, for example. I've realized I'm showing a lot of the cards that I showed in my more recent video, because I literally filmed it several days ago and I haven't used the deck since then. So I'm just going to cut to a different part so you're looking at different cards maybe. This is the Knight, the Seeker of Branches. Salmon for the Nine of Shells, so shells would be cups. The cow for the Empress does sort of lean into that sort of mother side of the Empress, which I don't always love, but again, it is an aspect of the Empress. Yeah, so it's just so, look at the little face on this little sea lion. Oh, talking about sea lions, huh? Scarab Beetle, I've seen several decks use the Scarab Beetle for the Ten of Wands, and again, makes sense, right, when you think about it. Yeah. It's pretty. So this is the Hermit, Keeper of the Light. Oh, it's just such a yummy, sweet. And again, it does have some sort of slightly darker cards, but they are not difficult, if that makes sense. They're a little shadowy, but not too much. Nurturers are the queens. Again, it's just one aspect of the Queen, but that's the one they went with. But yeah, this is a very it's a very nurturing, comforting deck, and it always makes me think summer vibes, spring summer vibes, and it comes out very often around this time of year. So we're gonna go and look. Oh, that's a coyote. What are you doing? The Trickster. That is so funny for the coyote to be the only card that's way around, and it's like the name is the Trickster, and he's on the back as well. Look at his little side eye. You know, his little face. Oh, so cute. So yeah, we only have one more tarot deck to look at. I lied. That was the last tarot deck. It's because I was looking. I forgot there were going to be two. There's two other decks here, but they are not tarot. I fucked up my own little thing where I was going to be like, there's going to be two other decks at the end. So I have an Oracle deck and a Lenormand deck to show you. So the Oracle deck I'm going to show you is actually the Pocket Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. I do have the standard sized version of this, but I've had this one I think since late April. I can't remember. It came out in April and I think it was on offer as well, so I picked it up pretty sharpish. And I think that this smaller size is so much more manageable to work with. I love the cardstock. it makes really nice shushing susurration sound when you shuffle as well. It's very satisfying. It's easy for me to hold. So now the standard size is the like display size for me. If I'm pulling out an archetype to work with, it can go up on my altar or my desk, and it's easier to sort of see the artwork. But this pocket one is the sort of the reading card. I mentioned Sylvie earlier of Tarot Magpie, but they've also done a video about 10 ways that you can connect with an oracle deck, and they use this as an example because this is a fairly new to them deck. And there are so many really interesting and fun ways to work with an oracle deck that they share in that video that I had just not even necessarily considered, and I just think, yeah, go check out that video. I'll try to remember to link it down below. But I'm really enjoying the small version of this, and the reason it feels like a summer deck for me is that there's just these delicious bright tones. It really pops. There's a lot of sort of black and white, that sort of, that Kim Krans is quite known for, that sort of line work, black and white, and then the punches of colour. I also really enjoy that this does have some like analog collage in it as well. I think it's analog collage. It certainly looks very analog. So here we go. This feels very like classic Wild Unknown-y. And then let's find one that's got a real punch. Like here's a really good example. You've got all of this line work and then this bright bold punch of colour. This is another one. But yeah, it just feels, very summery to me because the colours are so juicy and rich, and because they're contrasted against just the black and white, it really pops. Sort of like a summer camping in the woodlands. Oh, isn't it lovely? But yeah, you see, I can easily show you more cards compared to the standard size. Now I only need the alchemical deck, and I have all of the Wild Unknowns. That would be cool. Does anyone have the alchemical deck? How do you find it? I haven't seen it about much. I see this one about a lot more than the other one. So yeah, and I love that it comes in the tin. The book is ridiculous. It's so small, and my eyes are, you know, are like, fuck that. But I do have the standard size, so I just use the standard size book. Although if I would take this away with me somewhere or out with me, I would just take the wee one and just suck it up and just make sure I have my reading glasses with me. And the final deck, the final bonus deck is Tatiana's fortune cards, which is essentially, or Titania's fortune cards, begging your pardon. And this is essentially a Lenormand, and it feels very summery to me, again, because of the colours. It's like this sort of weird, bright negatives. And I guess also because when I was a kid, we didn't have digital cameras, we had film cameras, and you would buy the film to go in the camera. You could also get disposable cameras which had like a set number of pictures that you could take, but most people would have like a camera, and you would buy the film to put inside it. I apologise if this feels like I'm patronising some people, but I'm aware that younger folks don't always know like about some of the stuff that we might have had growing up, those of us that are in our like late 30s and upwards. And so you would buy the film, and you didn't have a viewfinder, so you just had to, as in like you had a hole to look through to see what you're taking a picture of, but you couldn't, like, you know, like with a screen and you can take loads of versions and just pick the one you like. There wasn't that. So if you had like 24 pictures that you could take for your entire holiday, you had to just, and this is the thing, when you would take pictures when we were kids, we didn't have much, and so like taking pictures was a luxury, frankly, and because then you had to pay to have them developed. And sometimes we would, I never went abroad as a kid, and my first time going abroad I was with school on like a subsidized trip. So we would always just go to the beach for a little while, and you know, taking a photo was a real, like, you had to really make it count, and you would only take pictures of things that were really, really, like, really important moments, or with when you were together with like your favorite people, and then yeah, you would go and have them what's the word, have them developed, and then you'd have to wait like a week or so to then, and then you'd go and collect them. And half of them, people would have red eyes, or they'd be blurry, or there'd be like a sticker saying this didn't come out and it's fucked. So you'd get like 24 pictures, and then like half of them are actual photos that don't look like dog shit or semi dog shit. But when you hold up the film, this very long-winded trip down memory lane is all to say that when you looked through the film, everything was like inverse. It's like a negative, right? Folks know what I mean, right? And it just makes me think of that, and that makes me think of summer, because we often took pictures either during our summer holidays or Christmas. And so there's there's a very long-winded way of me saying it makes me think of summer because of the colours, but more so because of the negatives and the link to photos. And it's still like, when I stop to think about it, like now, how we all have a camera in our pockets with regards to like carrying a smartphone, and how I take so many pictures every single day, mostly of my dog and my food. And like, I don't think anything of it, or like editing them, or like going through, like taking multiple versions until I get one. And that just was not something you could do when I was younger. And so when smartphones first came out, that you could like carry the camera in your pocket, it felt like such a luxury, and I guess it kind of still is. But yeah, so Titania's fortune cards is a summer deck. So I thought I'd get an oracle and a Lenormand in there as well. And this is almost a whole hour of looking at summery vibe decks. So yeah, what was your favorite deck that I shared with you? What are your favorite summery decks to use this time of year? Although if you are in the southern hemisphere, quote unquote southern hemisphere, you will be in winter right now, so it would be flipped, wouldn't it? If that's the case, if you're watching from down under somewhere, let me know what your current sort of winter vibe deck, fave winter vibe deck is. So yeah, whew, take a breath. Been just talking at you for a while. Well done for making this far. If you are still here, I really appreciate you taking time out of your precious day to watch and or listen to this, me waffling on at you. I had fun. I had a good time, and yeah, I'm gonna put all these decks, well, not all of them by my altar, because that's a lot, but half of these probably back up in my little altar box, so that I can work with them through the summer months, such as they can be described, even though it is again currently raining right now. Yeah, so I hope that wherever you are, that you are safe and well, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.